Good afternoon. This is going to be a concept drawing, a preliminary drawing for an assignment that is in short relief. And what we're going to do, building out of paper, is to create two pumpkins. They don't have to be jack-o'-lanterns. And then some other contrasting element that can pair with those pumpkins, that can go together with those pumpkins, for an assemblage that will be freestanding and pop up and fold flat for storage. That's important. So I want to take these first materials here away. We'll deal with those later on and just talk about the concept of this. You can see that this piece of tag board has been folded in half. It's not an even fold, that's fine. And as it stands up and I look at it, I see this part sticking out towards my eye and this part behind. And there's about 2 inches of space here off the table that we can then later build upon to go upwards and also outwards. So in my concept drawing, I'm going to consider this my base. And I have a rectangle there and maybe another rectangle here. I won't darken these very much, simply because I want to be able to make these lines disappear. I don't really want to see these lines later on. So I'm probably going to cover them up. So there I have the portion of the tag board folded forward, and then this portion a little bit longer is behind. If you wish to fold your tag board more than once, if you wish to fold it, say, 2 times, like I'm doing right now, you can have this portion in front, this portion in the middle, this portion behind, to give you some layers of space. Now, what I'm going to do here is to indicate where one of my pumpkins might be. And I'll go ahead and use a dark line. And part of my point in making the pumpkin big is to have enough pumpkin to cover up what's behind. I really do want to hide that piece of tag board. I want to hide that piece of cardboard, lightweight cardboard, that's supporting all of this. And then in my concept drawing, as you'll see later on, as I show you watercolor technique, I'm going to use line following the form of the pumpkin to come out and wrap over the pumpkin and make that look more three-dimensional. So you can see that large pumpkin here in the front really does cover up a good deal of the tag board. Now if I have, say, another pumpkin back here, it could be that I want to glue it. When I do attach it, these will be glued down. It could be that this pumpkin, which is also very large, is glued behind the first and also raised up a bit off the ground. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And again, I'm going to use curved lines to wrap around the form, to the left if the lines are wrapping to the left, and to the right if the lines are wrapping to the right. So now those 2 pumpkins by themselves, glued on, standing up, one in front of the other. Interesting, especially if I'm playful with color and pattern. But let's see if we can introduce one more element here. I decided on bats. Of course, it does not have to be a Halloween theme, and bats aren't really Halloween, except sometimes they are used for Halloween pictures. So I'm going to take my bats and include them here, remembering that I could maybe put mist here, I could put stars here, and if I want to do more than bats, I can. So here comes one very simple bat. Okay, it doesn't even have a head on it. And attached to that, because I drew them together, I painted them together, and I cut them out together, comes another, and here comes a third, all part of the same piece of paper. And so I have those bats. And let's say I have this little guy, this extra little bat here with a little more personality. I'm going to put him right over here. And of course, all of these bats can come out of the same piece of paper. And we are using a watercolor paper. I'm going to put an ear on that one and an ear on that side and make him fuzzy because they have hair. They're mammals, just like you and I are mammals. They have hair. And of course, they are winged mammals, but they don't have any feathers. They have a skeleton, and spread between their finger bones, or the bones here of their wings, is a membrane, kind of like a thick piece of skin. Okay, and so there he is, and he may not be able to glue directly there, but he might glue to this, or I could substitute a small piece of tagboard behind to support him and attach him to this pumpkin. Now, if you look at this and think that that's a decent design, you can go forward with your painting and your construction. But you will need to do one preliminary drawing or concept drawing like this as you think about all the elements that are going into your picture and your relief, and where they're going to be placed. Remember, this is going to be a pop-up assignment, which you will see in a second video. All right, now you try.